Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Vanor and this is another Dragonheir Silence God video. So I want to use this video today to talk about one of the legendary that everybody should have, and is the main character. I know it's not technically a legendary, but it's considered legendary from the developer because when running the events lately on the Goblin race and all the rest of the events they've been doing, they consider this champion a legendary. And so you had those penalties and points that you had if you run any other legendary in the game. Now this champion is unique and he has some interesting feature, but the point of the discussion today is it still worth building in season 3 or even season 2 and season 1 at this point? And can we really consider this champion a legendary? Where does he place in a scale of power, for example, compared to epics and rare? And what are the possibility to fix it? What are the main downside, etc. So let's jump straight into it. The champion is for sure very interesting, especially because he has the opportunity to switch affinity, and that probably make it still enticing for season 1 when you early on you don't have a lot of champions, and it's basically leveling up 3 champions for the price of 1. You can switch the affinity around and you can use the affinity for leveling, for example, for the domains that you can beat easily. So let's say, for example, you have a team that is able to do easily Tempest domain. You switch it to Lightning and you level it up quite easily. That makes the progression a bit easy. But they also introduced the sparring pick now in season 1, which helps leveling up champions much faster. So I don't know if this is still a good point, because obviously we have access to many more champions in season 1 now, with more dice and more pull, which mean more legendary early on, more epic, and therefore better options in general. And so this champion does still hold. So let's have a look at the kit and try to find out what basically the champion is doing. So on the fire, on the passive, it gains 20% attacks up for 15 seconds as the battle starts. It's going to be 20% attack up will now be granted to all allies when the battle starts, which helps a little bit in the beginning, but then wears off and doesn't come back. So this is really something only temporary for the first 15 seconds of the battle. On the battle skills, shoot one ray, dealing 125 attack fire damage to the enemy 3 times. Triple hit, single target, interesting. Doesn't do much though. And the ultimate, which deal a good amount of damage, deal 500 attack fire damage to the enemy within range, a 3x3 shape. And recharge time is very short because it's only 16 seconds. There are not many champions that have such a short recharge time. But it also have a downside, because obviously if you want to time it, you have to time it to the time where your slower DPS or your decreased defense, witches remain, or chronically clean applier do. And they're generally 19-20 seconds one scroll, and with a little bit of skill haste. So you have to time it and slow it down. So that part is really not that effective unless you run a full team with really short recharge time. Tia comes to mind probably in season 2. I was using him with Tia to both have 16-second recharge time. But I mean, this part is really not that effective. Is a decent DPS overall. Would you pick it over some of the fire DPS available? Now, fire has 2 of the best school of damage in my opinion. In wild, which is amazing because it has a lot of availability. Probably the best school of damage in terms of choices. We can have a look at that as well. It's probably one of my favorite one because they manage to have a lot of champions, and most of them are good. You can use Thea, Neda, and Brolin, all 3 of them, all 3 rares, good options. I've used Tornan, Foley, and Alfie before, also good option. Karaman is mainly maybe for Arena. but still good DPS. If it's only your choice you have for wild to pair with someone else, it still do that good damage. We all have access to Erich if we play the storyline in Season 1. And then if you're lucky, you might pull one of the other legendary. So I wouldn't really choose the MC over any of this. Not even Tonanon. So he doesn't have multi-hits on the ultimate, which doesn't help. He doesn't synergize with one of the best school of damage. It doesn't synergize with anything else, really. But when you have such a good options, it's difficult to basically mix it up. You only have 5 champions you can fit in a fight, and if they don't synergize and they don't bring anything else, then what is it there for? It doesn't have an aura. Arachis is another incredible DPS. You know, you bring Biggs, Arachis, and Parzival. For example, you have increased attack for all your team coming back, not just in the beginning of the fight. You can place decreased defense and burn, which synergizes with your DPS, which exploded the burns and does a lot of damage. I'm running one of the team for burns for one of the Chief Challenge on Season 3. Arachis does almost 2 millions every time he uses ultimate. So it's not even comparable to what the MC does, because the MC does good damage but doesn't do that much damage. And yeah, none of the legendary, of course. The 3 legendaries of burns are incredible. They all do a lot of damage if you build them for. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't choose the MC over anything in the fire department, anything from wild or burn. And probably same goes for the other affinity. If you look at lighting, for example, the kit does attack speed up to will be granted at the beginning of a fight, which is interesting, but still only the beginning. Deals 350 attack lightning damage to enemy in range with a 75% chance of inflicting blind for 5 seconds. It's nice. It's nice. It's just not enough. And the ultimate deals 600 attack lightning damage to enemy in range with a 75% chance of inflicting stun, which is good. But if you compare it to probably the most similar kit is probably Yola. Well, Yola brings a lot more. A lot more. She has an aura, first of all. She has an amazing aura because she brings 24 attacks in all battle, which helps everybody, not just the character. She has a passive that when attacking enemy under silence, there is a 40% chance of changing silence into stun, because she plays silence on a single target on a battle skill for 2 lightning orbs at the enemy, each dealing 200 attack lightning damage with a 50% chance of inflicting silence. And on her ultimate, she plays silence again, sounding lightning strikes to the target area 3 times, 3 triple hits, so which is remain a player, dealing 230 attack lightning damage each time to enemy within range, with a 50% chance of inflicting silence for 5 seconds, and 75 book up to 100% chance of inflicting attack penalty 2 to a diamond shape. So I wouldn't pick the Traveler or the MC over Yola. Never really. There's no scenario where I will do that. And especially when we come to the DPS, we can choose from the Dauntless. Dauntless is probably one of the highest number school of damage in the game. We have so many good options of here that it basically makes no point in trying to compare it even to the main character, which does good damage, but pales in confront to the epics, not even counting the legendary. The damage is there, but it's not enough to compare for legendary for sure. And when it comes to the epics, Shagroll does amazing damage if you scroll it up and build it properly. Shaltar paired with a lot of hits, baby Shagrolls and Nimbus for example, brings up so much damage. Still hold up Season 3 for Chaos Shadows bosses to legendary. You can still do more than 40 million with him as your main DPS. Nimbus multi-hit ultimate doesn't do a lot of damage, but has Good aura again, 30% in dungeon battles, and a multi-hit ultimate that can apply, which is Remain. Brings damage and activate damage from others. So it's no synergy again, as we said, for fire. And there's really no reason to bring that champion. Probably even less now for ice. Ice is the only case where I was thinking, oh, maybe, you know, the champion is still valuable when it comes to ice because it brings this shield, 250 attack shields to each ally within range for 10 seconds down a shape. But by the time you get to late season, or probably even season 1 at this point, if you have access to so many legendaries, then you're probably going to get better options. If you pull dupes, your first choice should be, which is Remain. Your second choice, it's difficult. It could be the Hourglass or could be the Gatekeeper. And if you choose the Gatekeeper, you get shields for overhealing. And you can use any healers in the game to place a shield on the entire team for the overheal. So this one becomes far less usable, or at least still usable, but far less enticing to build a champion just for this. In Season 3, we just got access to Aladia. Aladia was the season event, the free legendary you get from playing the Chaos Shadow bosses. She does a shield on the entire team. She plays decreased attack when you're being hit underneath the shield. She plays silence, or she has like some sort of control, which is obviously better. Its champion has speed penalty. Honestly, if it was, instead of trying to slow down the others and build accuracy for this, because then you need accuracy to apply speed penalty, but you need attack to try to build a shield, which doesn't make a lot of sense unless you now use maybe the slingshot in Season 3, where you can build a lot of attack and build a lot of accuracy. Through the accuracy, you build the attack, but it becomes less and less valuable every season. And I will argue that by the Season 3, it's really pointless to build this champion. The feedback I had from most of the players that are on my Discord when I asked this question is that they don't even build it in Season 2. And I'm wondering if Season 1 is still kind of useful or it's falling off as well. Granted, we have the sparring feat, so we can build more champion more quickly, as I said, and we have access to more legendary and therefore more epics from the beginning, giving us all those good options far earlier than we used to when we start playing Season 1. For me, for example, almost, what is that, 8 months ago at this point. So yeah, is this champion still useful in your opinion? And instead of talking about how I will fix it, I would like to hear how you guys will propose to fix this champion. I mean, improve. I mean, improve seriously, because we need something really good for this champion. It is the main point of the storyline. The storyline that resets every 3 months. It should be, this champion should be basically central to the storyline and therefore to our gameplay. It's a legendary that shifts between affinity, can help everywhere, but it doesn't. So I would like to hear in the comments down below your proposal for how to improve this champion. What would you do? What direction would you go? There are many options. I have at least 3 ideas in my mind, and I would like to hear your one without influencing mine at this point, so I can bring them to the developer maybe and see if something will be done. But right, this is everything for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you soon with another video about Dragonheir Silence God.